Okay, let us start. So let's go Kshetra, Kshetrajna. So before that, let us pay obeisance to Radha Govinda. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshummitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vittam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devan Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakana Vittam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dino Bandho Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatra Abhyascha Kripa Sindhaveva Patitam Nam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So let us start. So it was started with Arjuna's 6 questions. What is Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Neyam? Okay. Then Krishna answers first 3, 4, 5 and the field of knows the questions 3. That is the Kshetra is nothing but our Sharira, body, and Kshetrajna is the soul and the super soul. Both are residing in the body. Okay. And then further questions, the process of knowledge and what is the Jnanam and Neyam. So we saw that the process of knowledge, what's the qualities to cultivate to acquire the knowledge. Otherwise, it's never is difficult. Then further questions to what is the object of knowledge is the thing. Then finally, so it comes to Prakriti, Purusha and the union and what happens to knowing this knowledge. So actually we saw that chapter 1 to 6 is on Karma Yoga, Karma, action, the platform of knowledge. That means we perform activities to please the Lord, Nishkama Karma Yoga, and finally we said Bhakti Yoga is the yoga, best yogis of all. Then Jnana, knowledge, perfection of Jnana. That is what is the knowledge we are getting here, which will help us to understand Bhakti, and through knowledge we are doing the devotional service. And we saw that is who gets the body as the field of thing, is the condition. Why does he get? He's entrapped in the material existence because of his attempts to lord it. Because he wants to enjoy independent of the Lord and he wants to control. So according to the capacity to control, that is the criteria he gets. Depends upon his karma and the desire to dominate the thing. According to that, he gets the capacity to enjoy. Okay, Sam gets a particular body. We saw that, no? Because based on our karma, in this life, decides what's the body we want to get in that. And also a lot of the karmas are there, which are not yet manifested, and those things will come. So, how to understand the difference between the body and the knower of thing is the thing we should know. So we know the difference between the soul and the soul thing. Because the soul is there, the eternal, whereas the body is, we keep changing. And so these are the different kinds of knowledge which we discussed yesterday, saying that in chapter 6, 1 to 6, we came to know about the soul and the position by which we can understand the Supreme Lord. Then we discussed the Supreme Lord, its energies and the relationship between the soul in regards to Diva Bhakti and the superior position. Then 4 kinds of people who surrender and why we need to surrender so that we can get liberated, overcome this Maya. Now he is explaining this. So these are the different comparisons of knowledge we saw. Okay. Then activities are knower of the field and things. So we saw this. That is, so when the Jagrati state, when it's the dream state, and this is in the deep sleep state. Okay. And because we discussed yesterday that the purport is very difficult to understand, so I thought I will just go through one of the purports so that it will give some insight to this chapter. This is in the verse here. Krishna is saying that these activities, the field of activities and the knower of activities described by various sages. I mean, whatever Krishna is saying in this relationship between the material world and the body and the Kshetra, Kshetrajna and the Jnanam and all that is being described by various stages in various Vedic Vedas. Okay. So, knowledge of the field of activities and knower is described by various. So, he is giving reference, especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. So, actually, Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest authority in explaining the knowledge. Okay. Still, as a matter of course, learners, scholars, and standards always give evidence from previous authorities. And this is a very controversial point because we are talking about duality and non-duality of the soul and the super soul by referring to the scripture, the Vedanta. Because here, Krishna is referring to Vedanta, Brahma Sutra of the Vedanta, right? So, here Krishna Prabhupada writes about Vyasadeva. So, he's according different, as far as the sages are considered himself, Vyasadeva is the author of the Vedanta Sutra, is a great sage. And in the Vedanta Sutra, duality is perfectly explained. And Parashara Muni is the father of Vyasadeva. He also is a great sage. And he writes in his books of religiosity, that is we, you, and I, various selves are all transcendental to material bodies, although in material bodies. So, are all transcendental. That is the soul and Paramatma and all are transcendental, but we are living in the material world. We are fallen into the ways of three modes of nature according to a different karma. So, some are of the higher level and lower. Lower nature means we are in the animal mode, means the conscience level is different. In the plant mode, the conscious level is like, stiff. We are thick. Whereas animal mode, at least there's some consciousness and there's movement. Whereas in the human form, you have the highest conscious level. So the higher and lower is just due to ignorance and being manifested in infinite number of living entities. So, but super soul, which is infallible, is uncontaminated by three qualities of nature. So this is what here Prabhupada says. There's so many references he gives. Similarly, in the original Vedas, a distinction between soul and body is made in Katha Upanishad. So there are different, time and again, then the sages have discussed about this and they have given it different in the things. So here, one of the things from Taittiriya Upanishad, which is branch of Yajurveda, the Prabhupada explains in detail in this purport. Okay. So if anyone can read this one, as stated before. Hare Krishna.
As stated before, Kshetra is the field of activities, and there are two kinds of Kshetra Gnan, the individual living entity and the supreme living entity. As stated in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Brahma Pancham Parastitita, there is a manifestation of the Supreme Lord's energy known as Annamaya, depending upon food for existence. This is a materialistic realization of the Supreme. Then there is Pranamaya. After realizing the Supreme Absolute Truth in food, one can realize the Absolute Truth in the living symptoms or life forms. In Gnanamaya, realization extends beyond the living symptoms to the point of thinking, feeling, and writing and willing. Then there is Brahman realization called as Vignan Maya, in which the living entity's mind and life symptoms are distinguished from the living entity himself. The next and supreme stage is Anandamaya, realization of the all blissful nature. Thus, there are 5 stages of Brahman realization, which are called Brahma Pancham. Of these, the first 3, Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Gnanamaya, involve the fields of activities of the living entities. Transcendental.
Okay, Mataji, 1 minute. So this is the thing. So this is a perception of Lord's energy. So here Annamaya means we depend on the food. The Lord's energy, we get the food for the existence. He's maintaining the whole thing, all the living entities, right from the ant to the Brahma, right? For the maintenance of the body we have. That is the body. This is materialistic realization of the Supreme. That is at the body level, okay? We are depending on the sustenance of it. Then for the pranamaya, after realizing the supreme truth in food, one can realize the living systems of the life forms. That is the movement, that is pranamaya, the defense, okay? He is not only maintaining, he is sustaining us, right? Then after that, this is the level of for realization of the Supreme Lord. First, we only look at how to maintain the body, how to defend the body. And then we come to the Manonmaya or Jnanamaya, where we start thinking, feeling, and thinking. Then we start questioning ourselves. So in Jnanamaya, thing extends beyond the living symptoms to the point of thinking, feeling, and willing. So this is how we realize the Lord. You know, this is one perspective he has given us. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya. And then comes the Brahman relations called Vijnanamaya, where we start realizing that we are the soul and not the body. That's when we start distinguishing ourselves from the living, that is our identity. Okay. And then slowly we raise to our conscious level to the Anandamaya, where we doubted all in it. So, and in these three stages, Annamaya, Pranamaya, and Manomaya, we are still interacting with our body, mind, isn't it? So, this is how, I mean, in various scriptures, the same philosophy is given by different perspectives. So, this is one reference which Prabhupada has written, that is Taittiriya Upanishads, where Brahman Pachan Pratishta. There is the energy is known, okay? And who is called Anandamaya. So the Vedanta Sutra also describes Supreme by saying Anandamaya Bhayashat. The Supreme Personality is by nature full of joy. To enjoy this bliss, he expands into Vijnanamaya, Pranamaya, Jnanamaya, Annamaya. That means he is there in all the things. He is there in the food, he is there in the living entities, he is there to protect us, he is there in our mind, he is there with us throughout, right? And in different realization. Otherwise, we can still be in the material form, depending upon our consciousness level and our thing. In the field of activities, the living entity is considered to be the enjoy, and different from him is the Anandamaya. So that means the living entity decides to enjoy in without telling himself. So if we think we are the body, then we are restricting our consciousness to this material body. But if we think that we are the soul and we are the part of the thing, that means though we are in the material world, we are slowly in the spiritual platform. This is what he means. If the living entity decides to enjoy in doubting himself with Anandamaya, then he becomes perfect. This is the real picture of the Supreme Lord as a supreme knower of the field, the living entity as the subordinate knower, and the nature of feelings. I hope this is clear, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
So this is, I mean, this is the crust of this whole chapter. Like, you know, that our relationship with the super soul and with the material body and with the soul, how we are related. So, and our understanding will increase, you know, by slowly we understand. So whether our understanding is still at the Annamaya stage or in the Pranamaya stage or in the Jnanamaya, but we have to raise our understanding to from Vijnanamaya to Anandamaya. So that's why he says, besides to enjoy, there are people who are still stuck in this particular level, in telling himself with Anand. So one has to search this truth in the Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra. Okay? And there are codes like, you know, so this is what he says, Anandamaya Abhyasha. So it is mentioned here that the codes of Brahma Sutra are very nicely arranged according to cause and effect. Some of the sutras are parts. The first of all indicates the field of activities. The second indicates the living entity. Third indicates the Supreme Lord. So this is the various where their interaction. So this chapter is all about that. If you understand this, then we can go get liberation. So that's what here it is said. So we looked at how our conscious level can go to higher levels and things. Okay. So this is, then we looked at other further questions, how to understand, how to get this knowledge. For that, he said we have to, accepting a spiritual master is very essential. And other qualities we should have: humility, pridelessness, tolerance, simplicity, renunciation, and all that, right? And then we need the unalloyed devotion service, engage oneself in the 9 process of bhakti. He explained. We looked into all that. Okay. Process of knowledge end in Ananya Bhakti. That is the supreme, perfect stage. So this humility, non-violence, self-control, detached, all these are many things which we need to cultivate. And that the cultivation of these qualities is the real method of acquiring knowledge. Prabhupada writes in the purport, anything speculated beyond these items of knowledge is ignorance. Okay. Then he answers, the object of knowledge is nothing but we need to understand the super soul and our relationship. Only devotee can understand the field of activities, process of knowledge, and both the soul, because we accept that the super soul is the cause of all causes. We accept his position. That's why the devotee can understand this. Otherwise, non-devotees do not find this acceptable. Okay. So we saw that. And then finally, we looked at how super soul is one, but he is there, appears divided, though he appears divided, but he is situated as one. Okay. And then we looked at this 2 birds thing also. There's a field of activities, knowledge and novel have been summarily described. So this is how he has described throughout in this 19 verses. I mean, we can immediately see the Paramatma is there. And when we go to another body, that means we go to another tree, he's already there because he's pervading everywhere, isn't it? So when we got our karma is over and we think, and we no longer realize this tree, then we need to have another body, then we go to another tree. But Paramatma is already there with us and he's still watching us for us to turn towards him. So this is how we have to understand. Now he's going to tell us more about this Prakriti. For us to understand this, Jnana, Nayam and all that field of activities, what we need to be, we need to be pure devotee. Just 1 minute. Hare Krishna. So to understand this knowledge, we need to, knowledge means understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness and realizing Krishna in everything. So this is the prelim stage in understanding devotional service perfectly. So soul is knowable and super soul is the ultimate object to be known. Okay. I don't know who is calling me. So now he is explaining Prakriti, Purushanti. So he says material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products of matter. So it's very clearly said that material nature is eternal. And when we came or how we came to this, become the conditioned soul, we are eternal. But when we came, it's not known. So here is told, it is to be understood, we are beginningless. Okay. Their transformation and the modes of matter are products. So one thing what is very clear in this purport, what we see is, in this verse, we need not worry when we came. All we need to worry how to go forward. Okay. Because we are eternal. That's what here it says. We might have taken different forms of the body based from transformations, and all that doesn't matter. And it's only a product of matter, of the material nature, right? And this material world is there from the beginning. There's no, it is eternal, right? So we need not worry about what forms we had, but we have been here for many times. The very existence of our being in this material shows that we have been here and we might have taken different forms. Okay. And nature is said to be the cause of all the material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is a cause of various. Because why we are the cause? Because we desire to come here. We desire to enjoy. We envy the Lord and we wanted to control this thing. We think we are the enjoyer. Because of that desire, of our desire, we are in this material world. Therefore, we are the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments, right? But through our body, we are doing the actions. So the nature takes, and we have our nature and all depends from our karma, the previous activities, previous karma, because of that we get. So karya, karana, kartavi. So nature is said to be the cause of all material activities. Okay. So a living follows the way of life according to the modes. And we can see, that in a family, when you have different children, children have different natures. They might be born to the same parents, but they have different natures, isn't it? It's all by their past karma. So they will, according to their three modes. So they desire to enjoy, forges the bond between the Purusha and the Prakriti. Prakriti is the material world and Purusha is the enjoyer. Okay. Association with the material nature leads to different good and evil among various species. So that depends our association. Once we come here and with the association with the atheist, we become atheist. If we associate with devotees, then so depending on that, our associations, our nature, and depending upon nature, we associate accordingly. We don't see even the friends the children have. They'll have a different kinds of friends, isn't it? Depending on their nature. Same way, we have our own kind of friends because we make friends with who have our type of nature, isn't it? We can't make friends with everybody, right? So that association with material nature leads to different good and evil among various species. Okay. Then he says, yet in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord. He is a supreme proprietor and he is existing as what? As an overseer and permitter. And he is known as the super soul. So we are slowly coming to understand the doership, the ownership. So here he is the supreme proprietor because he is the cause of all existence. And he is there only permitted. So if we desire to do something, the material nature, the body acts on it after getting the sanction from the supreme proprietor, super soul. Then he is there as a witness to all our activities. He knows our past, present, and depending on our desire, he knows what our future would be also. Even without our knowing itself, he would have seen, he could have understood because he is there within us. Okay. So here he clearly says he is a supreme proprietor who exists as the overseer. He is the transcendental enjoyer. Okay. So what is the result of knowing this philosophy is, once we understand our relationship with the material nature, the interaction of the modes of nature and how we are the cause of it, and through material nature, because we identify with the body, we feel the sufferings. So knowledge of truly understanding the relation between soul and super soul, we get liberated and return to the spiritual world. To understand how the living entity has fallen is a regressive condition. How to understand? So this is what we have to understand. So super soul is perceived by some through meditation. Some take to meditation, yoga. Some through the cultivation knowledge. But others through working without fruitive desires. Nishkama karma yoga. So we looked at that, isn't it? The 2 classes of faithful in spiritual life, they take to meditation, or they take to Shankya yoga through knowledge, or karma yoga. Okay. But there are others who are atheists and Mayavadis and things, Sunyavadis. So they are beyond the sense of spiritual understanding. Okay. And devotees of the Lord are best situated in spiritual understanding because they know that beyond the material nature of spiritual world is who expands as Paramatma. So this is how they can. And there's one more way of understanding the super soul is by hearing. Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others. Because of the tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death. So you don't have to do tapas, you don't have to do all that meditation, you don't have to do, try to understand Sanskrit and then try to understand all the Vedic scriptures. All you have to do is just hear about him, Krishna Katha, and worship the Supreme Person from the devotees. Because of the tendency to hear from authority, they also transcend the path of birth and death. This is example of Devahuti. She is the mother of Kapila Muni. Okay. She, once Kadruman, her husband goes off to take sannyas and goes away, then she wants to learn about this transcendental knowledge, and Kapila Muni explains the whole thing to her, the whole of this transcendental supreme science. And just by hearing and hearing, she gets liberated to the path. So this is what, that's why Krishna keeps telling from the Samsana, Tatshrunu, keep hearing. Hearing is the best Shravana. So Shravana, hearing about the Lord. Yes, slowly we get to understand about the Lord and our relationship to him and what is our supreme position, what is our constitution position, that is we have to serve him. And then it's easy to transcend this path of birth and death. Okay. And then, so we understood that hearing about him, we can get to know about the super soul. So super soul, getting to know super soul is our object, and how a Prakriti and Purusha, we interact with each other, right? Next, it talks about the vision of knowledge. So what do these devotees who have this, what is their vision? How do they see the super soul? So one who can see super soul, living entities and material nature in the proper perspective. It's not that he knows the super soul is there in all the living entities, in the animals, in the plants and all that. And he can also understand their nature. So in their proper perspective, sees through the eyes of knowledge. Okay. O chief of Bharatas, wherever you see in existence, both moving and unmoving, is only the combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field. Okay, we are in a prison. This material world is like a condition, is a prison. We might be in the A-class prison or a B-class or C, but we are in this. So spiritual realized person can distinguish between spirit and matter in all circumstances. Okay, whether it's moving or non-moving matters. So whatever you see in existence, only a combination of the field of activities and the knower. So this is the way they are spiritually realized persons. Okay. One who sees a super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies and who understands that neither the soul nor the soul is ever destroyed actually sees. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Okay, he sees everything. He has got the equal vision. That is the perfect stage of perfection. Okay. How such vision is formed? By good association with real knower of spiritual subjects. And who is the man in real knowledge? One who can see three things in its proper perspective. The body, this proprietor, the soul, the super soul as the friend of the soul. So we have started in the chapter 5. He says, now I am the well-wisher. I am the Bhoktaram, Tapasam thing. He says, I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, and the controller of all the whole cosmic manifestation, even the controller of the devatas and everything, Maheshwara. And he is also our well-wisher. So he is the well-wisher for everyone, all the living entities, everything. Super soul as the friend of the soul. If we understand this in the proper perspective, then we can, that is a person in real knowledge. And associating with such persons, devotees, we can get such vision is possible. Okay. One who sees super soul in everything and equal every does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus he approaches the transcendental destination. Okay. And what is the current situation of living entity? He has situated himself differently than in spiritual world because he is the thing. And what is the role of the mind? We generally addicted to sense gratification, which binds a living entity in the material world. This is what happens to our mind. Mind says, no, no, you're the body and not the soul. So that's why we start trying to gratify, we go towards the sense gratification. But when the mind turns towards the super soul, one becomes advanced in spiritual life. Then he approaches the external destination. So then he is the actual seer. So once the living entity turns towards the Lord, once the bird, instead of looking at the different fruits in the tree, looks towards the Lord, towards the bird which is sitting there in its thing, then he starts is actually seeing the thing. He is able to approach the transcendental destination. So does not degrade himself by pursuing selfish desires of the mind. One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, sees the self does nothing, actually sees. The soul, inside is the observer. It's also seeing it, right? So he does not. That is the way how you identify, whether you want to identify yourself with the body or with the thing. So when a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, he sees how beings are expanded everywhere. Then he attains to the Brahman conception. Okay. Usually all activities are performed by the body, which is creator of material. The self does nothing, actually. But only thing, because we identify with the body, we think we are doing it. But only we desire, and the thing is getting done through the material body. When does he attain Brahman conception? When his consciousness gets purified and he develops Krishna consciousness. Unless our anarthas go away and we move from the modes of passion and ignorance towards the mode of goodness. Once we go towards that, only then we can think. Then he ceases to see different identities due to different bodies. Thus, absence of any material differentiation because of different bodies. All beings have expanded everywhere. So this is the vision of the actual seer. Those with the vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendent. And you might think that it's repeating and repeating. That's why it looks very complex, because the same concept, that's why he keeps telling us transcendental, eternal, beyond the most. Despite contact with the material body, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled. Okay? It is a transcendental. And he gives a good analogy, Krishna. Sky, due to subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul, situated in Brahman vision, does not mix with the body, though situated in the body. See, our body keeps changing, no? From the baby to a small boy, then to a thing, youth, and then thing. It keeps changing. Whereas the soul, it does not mix with the body. Just like the sky, due to subtle nature, does not mix with anything. It is all pervading. And how we can know the soul is there? By our consciousness. Okay? O son of Bhatta, as the sun alone illuminates all this universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness. Otherwise, if the soul is not there, the body is just a dead matter. We say, no, he has passed away. So that soul has passed away. As long as the soul is there within the body, then there is consciousness, and he eliminates the entire body by consciousness. So one who knowingly sees this difference between the body and the owner of the body and can understand the process of liberation from this bondage also attains to the supreme goal. Okay. The process of liberation from bondage in material, seeing with the eyes of knowledge, jnana chakshush. So this is the knowledge. So here, this is what is giving us the understanding about our relationship between the material body, that is the kshetra. And what is the kshetrajnas? We have the soul and the Paramatma inside. And how he is the cause of all causes, and understanding that we are the cause of the sufferings and the enjoyment, happiness, because we desire to come here. And we get the things done through the body. So how do we use this body to liberate ourselves from this thing is what he says. So that's what he's giving us the more understanding between our relationship with the material nature and who is the true enjoyer. Okay. So once you attain this, once you understand this knowledge, once you get the understanding, then you slowly realize that we are not involved in it. It is through the body. So we use this body not for sense gratification. If you use it for Krishna consciousness, then we can attain the supreme goal. So that's how he explains this, all these questions. Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Neha. Okay. So I hope this was clear to all of you.